Okay, folks, so this is February 6th, 2023, and tech design class. So we've created a document, tldsb.onshape.com. In the document, when you first create a new document, you're in the Part Studio. And in the Part Studio, you've got your view cube up in the top right corner where you can click to be able to see things. You have your features. So we're going to start with the top, and this sketch button will allow us to create a sketch. When you are in the sketch, this is really important. It shows you what you're drawing on, which is our top plane. When you click the green check mark, that saves whatever work you've done. When you click the red, it deletes whatever work you've done. So you want to make sure that you don't delete it. And you want to make sure if you're doing a sketch, you don't want a whole bunch of extra sketches. If you've already got one, use that one. And if you don't see the top plane, if it's red, make sure that you select your plane so that you know what you're drawing on. So this tool right here, center point rectangle, you'll notice the letter R is the tool. So that's what we're going to be using in a second. First off, the letter N on your keyboard normalizes your view. So that is looking at it, and I press the letter R, that turns on my center point rectangle. When I hold my mouse over the origin, it goes orange. That indicates that that is going to be constrained to be the center of my rectangle. So I click once, I move my mouse, I click a second time, and I take my hands off. So now I can type my measurements. So if I type 24 space IN, that will be 24 inches. I hit enter. I'm not touching my mouse at all. I'm just starting to type. And now it's the other distance, IN. And if I zoom out, so the scroll wheel allows me to zoom out, and holding the scroll wheel allows me to pan. So with the scroll wheel, I can see everything is black. I'm going to turn that tool off. So I have a 24 inches by 24 inches. It's fully constrained. It's centered on the circle, green check mark. Now I'm using my right mouse button, which allows me to rotate my view, and I'm going to extrude. So the extrude button is right beside the sketch. If your view is minimized, then you might not see all of the tools. So you might need to click the drop down to find it. So here's the extrude. Shift E is the shortcut. And in the extrude, it's a solid, it's new, it's sketch one. And I can set my depth to whatever depth I want. I have lots of options that we'll go over later in the course. Green check mark. I now have a three-dimensional space shape. My right button allows me to rotate my view. The view cube allows me to get back to my view. So going back into sketch one and normalize my view, I can now use the circle tool, which is the letter C. Using the shortcuts is really useful. So I'm just going to click once, move my mouse, click a second time, and same thing, hands off the mouse. So the first time was the center of the circle, second time was a point on the outside, and then I can type 1/4 to be how big. I'm going to actually make this much bigger so that it's easy to see. So there's my circle. If I click the green check mark, you can see it's a hole exactly where I did the circle. It is blue. Blue means it's not fully constrained. I can move it around. So the letter D is the dimension tool. If I click the center of the circle and that line, that allows me to set, and I've got it so it's 1 inch. Same thing, 1 inch. So now it's black because I am I've got my diameter. I have my distance from this line, distance from that line. It's fully constrained, so it's black. And there's my hole. If I go back into the sketch, if I then try to change the diameter, so I'm going to change this to 2 inches, you'll notice that it's red. So red indicates that something's wrong. In this case, I've tried to set the diameter twice and it doesn't know which one to use. So when you encounter red, the easiest thing is undo and just undo because it's something you did that caused the conflict. The other thing that I was noticing that people were having trouble with, I'm just going to delete these distances to show you, is that people were trying to, whoops, sorry, I'll just show you. So they were, that didn't work. Anyways, They were getting errors because they were trying to click different different things. So you want to be very careful. Easiest way is just turn off the tool, restart it, make sure that you're getting the center and the line so that you're good to go. And at that point, we are done. It's web based, so we should be able to just close up and everything will be there for us for tomorrow.